class of 1990. Tonight is indeed a very special occasion as it marks the end of 12 years of education, hard work, dedication. Of course, for some of us, it's been longer. Tonight is also very special because it's one of the few times in our lives when we can wear polyester gowns and a stupid-looking hat in public without people questioning our character. I think I speak on behalf of the entire class when I say that at some point during our lives, we've all dreamed of this day. I can remember a number of years ago, I was seated at a table that was quite close to the ground. I was engaging in a little finger painting as well as coloring with the jumbo Crayola, as well as munching on a graham cracker. It was then that I thought about what graduation would entail. As I was pondering, it seemed as though this day would never come. But in retrospect, it really doesn't seem that long ago since the days of my freshman year. The time spent here traveled very rapidly, and now our time has come to face new challenges and opportunities. They're certainly exciting, but on the other hand, they're also a little frightening. Leaving the protection of home and entering the real world. Luckily, we've been exposed to 12 years of education, and this will certainly help ease the burden and anxiety. Our future is as vast as our potential. There are infinite possibilities to pursue, ranging from the workforce to attaining higher levels of education. It's possible to go as far as your ambition and motivation are willing to take you. Whatever you decide to do, it's vital that you determine exactly what you want to accomplish. It's difficult to achieve a goal when you don't know what it is. As we leave high school and enter society, it's important to remember that it's not important if we have been academic successes. As we move into the next chapter of our lives, we are all equal, and we all have a tremendous potential. So wherever you are and whatever you're doing, always strive to do your personal best. Never be satisfied with second best. Don't let people tell you what you can accomplish, because only you know your limits. Whatever your goal is in life, be willing to work hard, because as the saying goes, the ladder of success is nothing more than a greased pole. As we go our separate ways after this evening, I would encourage each of you to find a direction or a goal and achieve it. And if you remember one thing this evening, remember the following saying: if the mind can conceive it, the hand can achieve it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been my pleasure speaking to you this evening, and I would like to wish all of the graduating seniors of the class of 1990 the best of luck in the future.
my pleasure and honor this evening to introduce our commencement speaker. Kathy Carvin is a native of Wyoming and a graduate of the University of Wyoming with a degree in journalism and a master's degree in American Studies. Following college, she worked as a journalist for newspapers in Cody, Cheyenne, and Australia. She then served for 6 years on U.S. Representative Tino Roncalio's staff, first as a press secretary and then as chief of his staff. In 1978, Kathy graduated from the University of Oregon Law School. As an attorney, she worked for 3 years in the Economic Development Administration in the U.S. Department of Commerce. Returning to Wyoming in 1981, Kathy managed Roger McDaniel's campaign for the U.S. Senate, and then she joined the staff of the Wyoming Attorney General. She was subsequently appointed by Governor Herschler to Director of the Department of Health and Social Services. On January 5, 1987, she was sworn in as Wyoming's 25th Secretary of State. She is only the second woman to hold this position and the first Secretary of State actually born in Wyoming. These are very important and impressive credentials, but I am especially proud of Kathy because 30 years ago, she graduated, just as you seniors are, from Rawlins High School, and from this building where we are gathered this evening. This was the first class to graduate from this high school. It is indeed a pleasure to introduce Kathy Carpenter, Wyoming Secretary of State.
Thank you, Bill. I just said to Bill he had promised me that he was going to thank me publicly for all that help I gave him in Latin too, but I forgot to do that tonight. Thank you to his daughter Shannon Scoggin for the invitation to be with you tonight. It's always an honor to address a graduating class, but it's a double honor when you can address a class that you graduated, or a high school that you graduated from. And it was, as Bill said, 30 years ago that I was among the first to graduate from this high school building. And although this complex is bigger and more sophisticated than it was when I went to school there, it will remain for me the new high school forever and ever. And I want you to know tonight I wore my Rawlins Pride pin, my High School Honor Society pin, and I have my Pep Club letter and my 6-0. I want you all to see this. That just proves once an outlaw, always an outlaw. It's very daunting to give a commencement address because you can't really be too original. I don't know how anybody improves on the late Governor Nell Smith, who said at the University of Wyoming commencement, "Boys and girls, you done good." But I did hear a rather original joke that I'd like to start out with before I talk to the graduates, and that was the argument between three ministers over when life really begins. And the Catholic priest said life begins at the moment of conception. And the Protestant minister said, no, that's not right. Life begins at the moment of birth. And the Jewish rabbi said, you're both wrong. Life doesn't start until the dog dies and the last kid graduates from high school. Thank you, parents. Well, congratulations to you, graduates. It takes time and effort to work your way to this milestone. You have persevered and you've prevailed, and tonight is a night to savor that accomplishment. And congratulations as well to your family and friends who were here, because it was their support and encouragement and nagging that helped bring you to this point in time. I decided tonight in addressing this class that I would try to remember it back, and believe it or not, everyone in this room who has graduated from high school, I think still remembers that, whether it was 30 years ago or 40 or even 50, and the sense of excitement you have, and sense of possibilities. But there's also a sense of fear on a graduation night because you're wondering about that world out there, and What kind of a world will it be, and will there be a job for me, and what kind of education do I need? And some of the answers to the questions that are in your mind tonight are to be found in a recent study for the Department of Labor called Workforce 2000, Work and Workers in the 21st Century. And it gives you some information on two issues of importance to uni graduates, and that is the new technologies that will change the world that you live in, and second, a chart of the jobs that will be winners in the 21st century and the jobs that will be losers. This report sees four trends taking us into the 21st century. The first is that the American economy is expected to grow at a relatively healthy pace, though we must confess in Wyoming, and in particular in Carvin County, we are not fully participating in that growth. The second trend is we see that manufacturing will be smaller and smaller a share of our gross national product. Three, we'll see a workforce that will be more female, more black, more Hispanic, and older. And I want to dwell on that for a minute. Our workforce will be older because that big spurt in the birth rate after World War II, the baby boomers we call them, are moving through time, and behind them is the baby bust, the big drop of the birth rate in the 60s. We will actually face labor shortages in this country in the 21st century, and that's good news for you graduates, because it means there will be a job out there for you if you're willing to qualify yourself. And four, those new jobs will increasingly come in the service area, and nearly every one of them will require higher skills than the jobs of today. And this report makes clear that the workforce that you see tomorrow will be totally different from that your parents have worked in. Until very recently, the barriers of distance and time have caused men and women to work in an office or to organize their work in a factory. Because of telecommunication breakthroughs in the future, you students may actually have a possibility to decide when and where you want to work, and for many of you, working right from your homes will be a very plausible option. The change we're talking about, brought on by technology, is proliferating all over the world. And this change is so vast and so fast that no one nation can control it. There is always someone somewhere trying to come up with a better, cheaper product, so much so that the economy of this world in the future will be a race on the part of each country to stay ahead or a race to catch up. And the ability of the United States to compete depends on new habits of saving and investing and not borrowing and spending. New priorities, putting our energies into research and development and not corporate raids and takeovers. And a new value on education. This will require a national consensus that all workers should be expected to learn new skills over the course of their work lives so that they will avoid obsolescence. And our national policies, including the tax code, ought to encourage lifelong education. This report identifies 5 trends that we can see in the 21st century. The first one is information storage and processing. By the year 2000, microcomputers will be as powerful as today's mainframes. Machines that can analyze many different types of information at once, and enormously sophisticated software, and this is a quote, will finally resolve traditional debates over whether computers can really think like people. Artificial intelligence will be real, unquote. Silicon secretaries will be able to take dictation and edit letters, and robots will be able to load trucks and pick strawberries. Second is communication. By the year 2000, this nation will be covered by digital telecommunication networks, linking most businesses and many homes with fiber optic links of tremendous capacity. In addition to working at home, you'll be able to bank at home and shop at home. Third is advanced materials, and those of you that are of my vintage may remember the Dustin Hoffman movie, The Graduate, where he was floating in the swimming pool and a friend of his father said, "Son, go into plastics." Well, he was right. By the year 2000, we will have new, more sophisticated substitutes for traditional materials. Diamond coating, ceramics, reinforced plastic will greatly increase the toughness, resilience, and useful life of manufactured products. Fourth is biotechnology. As proven in the Green Revolution, in the Third World and agriculture, the ability of science to manipulate life at the cell and sub-cell level means that we will be able to feed the world with fewer farms and fewer farmers. And on the horizon, and this sounds like a scene out of the old Woody Allen movie, are super-producing milk cows, pigs that grow with less feed and have less cholesterol, chickens that are bred to be resistant to disease. And there will be profound changes in medicine, making even more blurry between death and life and between God's role in man, creating tremendous ethical dilemmas for our society. And finally, 5 are superconductors. In 1986, scientists discovered a new family of materials which are superconductive. That means they carry electric current with little or no energy loss. These new materials can carry currents at higher temperatures and are far more magnetic than we've ever seen before. And what does this mean for Wyoming? Well, for one, it means that we would be able to generate electricity at the mouth of the mine and ship it by wire thousands of miles to metropolitan customers in Texas and in the Midwest. It could also mean electric cars and magnetic trains. Now, not surprisingly, these 5 new trends will create new jobs and eliminate old jobs. And the fastest growing jobs will be those that require the highest education and skill levels. Between now and 2000, for the first time in the history of this country, a majority, more than half of all new jobs will require education beyond high school. And a third of them will require a college degree. In the Workforce 2000, here are the winning jobs. Lawyers and judges, 71%. Computer and mathematics scientists, 68%. Healthcare, 53%. Technicians, 44%. Engineers, 41%. Social sciences, 40%. And the losers, bad news for Carvin County and Wyoming. The number 1 declining job in the 21st century, mining, down 16%. Number 2, also important to this county, agriculture, down 12%. And manufacturing jobs down 8%. Now, there will be jobs for those of you who don't have a good education, but they won't be good jobs. They will be minimum wage, dead-end jobs, mainly in the service industry. Now, as you graduates contemplate these profound changes, there's a tendency to be fearful and to resist them, but I believe you should reject that view. You should draw upon the sentiment that I carried with me out of school, that education means a sense of possibilities, a sense of new opportunities, that change will come, but change can be constructive and positive, and you ought to participate in it rather than to try and ward it off. And you should truly see tonight as the first night in the beginning of a new adventure, and a new dream, as part of a lifelong education process for a better life. And in closing, I would say to you, I wish for you what Rawlins High School gave to me. And it gave me happiness. And I want to define that as the ancient Greeks did for you graduates. Happiness is the full use of your powers along lines of excellence. If you do that, you will have happy lives personally and professionally. So in closing, let me say, God bless you, my fellow alumni of Rawlins High School.
Is really do appreciate this very, very fine turnout. I think it speaks well for our graduating class and our community, and thank you all for coming. Each year, one student is selected by the Board of Trustees to receive the School Board Award Outstanding Senior Award. This award is based upon the student's scholarship, leadership, citizenship, cooperation, attitude, and character. As a recipient of the Outstanding Senior Award, this student also is given the Clark Hall Memorial Scholarship. This scholarship is in memory of a very special friend that I had the opportunity and pleasure to serve with on school board, and he was also an outstanding community leader and educator. To announce the winner of these awards, I would like to ask Clark Hall's son to please join me. Rob Hall is a member of this graduating class. Rob, would you please come up?
My father was an outstanding member of this community. He was a member of school board, Elks Lodge 609, Rotary, and various other community activities. When he passed away 7 years ago, our family set up a scholarship fund for the outstanding senior. We did this because much of his life was dedicated to education, and we felt that this would be very appropriate for him. So now I'd like to present this award. Andy Hecox.
I have one more award to present this evening on behalf of the Raymond family and the Board of Trustees. This year, we as a school district and as a community lost an excellent school board member and a very good friend, Roy Raymond. Roy served as a school board trustee for over 23 years, starting with the old Lamont District number 33, which was later incorporated into Carvin County School District number 1. I served with Roy for many years, and he was always a staunch supporter of strong schools, quality education, and athletic participation. Roy was also very involved with youth projects in 4-H and other community activities. Because he believed so strongly in education and he encouraged young people to strive for success in life, his family has dedicated an annual scholarship in his memory with a plaque and cash award. The winner of the first Roy Raymond Memorial Scholarship is Kirk Morton. Kirk?
Mr. Chairman and members of the board, the graduates seated here tonight have completed the course of study prescribed by the faculty of Rawlins High School, the Carvin County School District number 1, Board of Trustees, and the Wyoming State Department of Education. They are entitled to receive their high school diplomas.
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for showing up to join in this celebration of this evening that is a transition for these young people. We're very proud to present this class to you. I've been associated with these young people for 2 years, and I guarantee you that this is one of the finest groups of young people I've ever been around. Some of the scholarships that I'm going to be announcing and the number of scholarships will indicate just what I said. Again, I thank you all for being here to share in these young people's joy. one thing as I read off the names of these graduates, please hold your applause until the end. As each student that receives a scholarship comes through, I will announce the names of these scholarships. As a result of their academic achievements and accomplishments, 49 members of the 1990 graduating class are receiving awards. These awards, ranging in value from $100 to $18,000, amount to a total of $196,585. These scholarships will aid our graduates as they pursue their future educational goals in colleges and universities, as well as technical and trade schools. We would like to thank all those individuals and organizations who have made these awards available. First graduate of this class, Andrew David Hecox. Please hold your applause. Andy has received the University of Wyoming Summer Institute Scholar, the Jamie Rochelle Memorial Scholarship, and he's also received an appointment to the West Point Military Academy. Joshua Keith Bolus. Joshua has received the Kiwanis Scholarship, University of Wyoming Summer Institute Scholar, President's Honor, W. Fred Newman Memorial, CCDOTEA Barber Memorial, and also a Sundance Scholarship. Jennifer Lynn Kirsch has received the University of Wyoming President's Honor Scholarship, a Sundance Scholarship, and the Rawlins Women's Club Scholarship. Derek Stephen Taylor has won the Kiwanis Scholarship, Marguerite Johnson Memorial, Dana Kenneman Memorial, and as a full tuition honor scholarship to DeVry Technical Institute in Phoenix. This scholarship is in excess of $18,000. Michael Glenn Adams, a tuition scholarship and Provost Honor Scholarship from the University of Northern Colorado. Diane Lynn Atwell, University of Wyoming President's Honor Scholarship and a Sundance Scholarship. Jane Ann Detweiler, University of Wyoming President's Honor Scholarship and a Sundance Scholarship. Aldo Cardenas Coronado, Rawlins Lion Club Scholarship, Mabel T. Nelson Memorial Scholarship, Duval Memorial, Sundance Scholarship, and a University of Wyoming President's Honor Scholarship. Chad David Gardner has received an Academic Honor Scholarship to BYU. Shannon Marie Scoggin. Shannon forego a number of scholarships as she will be studying in France next year as an exchange student. Kirk Allen Morgan, Elk's Most Valuable Student Award, CCDOTEA Barber Scholarship, and a Chatham State Memorial Honor Scholarship. Don Robin France, Elk's Most Valuable Student Award, and also a Sundance Scholarship. B.J. Benny Joe Alameda, Casper College Honors, Carvin County Stock Growers Association Honors, and also a 4-H Scholarship. Rick David Ackerman II. Andrew Houston Allen. Rebecca Sue Anderson. Rebecca has also received a Sundance Scholarship. Stephen M. Anderson. Joey Demetrius Archuleta. Scott Raymond Baxter. Scott received the Manny Rodabaugh Tennis Award and a Sundance Scholarship. Patrick E. Beaton. Patrick's received a Doris Vogler Broughton Art Scholarship to Montana State University. Christopher A. Bizol. Gregory R. Brock. Mary Elizabeth Bryant. Darnelda Renee Burris. Heidi Danielle Capazzoli. Steve Cerruti. Eric Thomas Chapman. Michelle Lee Clemens. Michelle also received the Casper College Drama Scholarship. Tara Marie Cruz. Jenny Rebecca DeMars. Stephen Ray Detweiler. Julia Charlene Agers. Julia has received the CCDO-TEA Bar Memorial and a Sundance Scholarship. Tisha Ann Marie Inlow. Jeffrey Lon Evans. Russell Arthur Forney. Nathan Lee Foster. Nathan has also received a Sundance Scholarship. Timothy M. Gabelson. Timothy's also received a Sundance Scholarship. Paul Powell Gagich, who's also received a Sundance Scholarship. Julie Ann Gale. Jason Patrick Gallegos. Jason has received a Sundance Scholarship. Derry Garcia. Christopher S. Gibson. Russell James Gill. Russell's also received a Sundance Scholarship. Travis Lee Glenn. Melinda Darlene Godwin. Melinda's received a Casper College Honor Scholarship. Fred Goodwin. Please hold your applause. Kimberly Ann Goike. Russell Scott Grauberger. Russell's received a Northwest Community College Welding Division Scholarship. Tracy Ann Grauberger. Tracy's received a Sundance Scholarship. Tamara Dawn Green. Amber Lynn Hamel has received Louisiana Pacific Scholarship and a Sundance Scholarship. Cheryl Hammond. Leslie Shannon Hansen. Before I introduce the next person at this time, would have liked to have introduced another young lady who isn't here. Can we have a moment of silence for Lisa Marie Hansen? Thank you. Nathan R. Herminghouse. Robin Nicole Holliday. Robert Lyle Hall. Rob has received a CCDOTEA Barber Memorial Scholarship and a Sundance Scholarship. Teo A. Jory. Teo has received the McBride Memorial for Excellence in Art. Kimberly Y. Jusela. Kimberly has received a Sundance Scholarship. Kathleen Kristen Kirsch. Kathleen's received the CCDOTE Barber Memorial and also a Sundance Scholarship. Molly Kathleen Kirsch. Justin Paul Kaiser. Catherine Violet Knowles. Tia Marie Cordes. Tia has received a Sundance Scholarship. Amy Corrine Lake. Amy has received the Fred P. Black Memorial for a student in the occupational field. Joseph Andrew Lansing. Joseph has received the Alex Tierney Scholarship, the Western Wyoming College Welding Division. Murray Thomas Drake Llewellyn. Linda Loretta Lucero. Clifford Robert Mays. Kelly Lynn Mays. Eric Solomon Martinez. Martinez. Sylvia S. Martinez. Eric Wayne McPherson. Christy Meyer.
Yay, Chrissy!
Carenza Marie Menard. Deborah Lynn Minnick. Deborah has received the Western Wyoming Academic Achievement Scholarship. Tina Montoya. Deborah J. Mortimer. Jeannie Nahara. Charles William Nation III. Laurel P. Nove. Nicole Renee Nicholson. Sean Michael Nolan. Vicki Lynn Nully. Vicki has received the Northwest Community College Business Scholarship. Bridget Lynn O'Melia. Bridget has received the Sundance Scholarship. Yolanda Osterhoff. Christopher M. Padilla. Gary J. Paschke Jr. Joni Marie Richardson. Joni has received a tuition waiver to Trin School of Beauty. Jeremy L. Rubidoux. Christina Robinson. Christina has received a Sundance Scholarship. Anne Marie Rutger. Darren Lee Russell. Darren has received a Sundance Scholarship. Jennifer Ann Russell. Denise Lynn Ryan. Sarah Louise Schrader. Craig Ivan Schwinn. Craig has received the Business and Professional Women's Award and the Casper College Division Scholarship. Rodan T. Segura. Anne Marie Shamian. Shannon Lee Cisneros. Kristen Ann Sizemore. Amy Lynn Smith. Amy has also received a Sundance Scholarship. Benjamin Dale Smith. Jamie Lynn Smith. Jamie has received a Sundance Scholarship. Marilyn Smith. Marilyn has received a Sundance Scholarship. Stacy Lee Smith. Stacy has received a Sundance Scholarship. Jenny L. Soul. Jenny has received a Sundance Scholarship. Wayne D. Soul. Wayne has received a Sundance Scholarship. Rachel Marie Stallsworth. Randy V. Taylor. Kenneth Russell Thompson. Teresa Marie Townsend. Jacob C. Rapando. Randy K. Vogt. Seth Edward Malentius. Seth has received the Casper College Fine Arts Division Scholarship. Eric L. Wallace. Jerry W. Webb. Kimberly Christine Wells. Kimberly has received the Casper College Honors and Casper College Business Division Scholarship. Beth Ann Williams. Christopher Lee Williams. Larry D. Yarozinski Jr. Michael David Zambrenin. Michael's received the Western Wyoming Academic Achievement Scholarship.